Well, ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every person's life when staying the same becomes more painful than changing. A moment when the comfort zone, once soft, warm, and familiar, starts to feel suffocating. A moment when you look at your life and say, I want more. I deserve more. That moment is the beginning of leveling up. Well, most people don't stay average because they're incapable. They stay average because they're comfortable. Comfort is the silent killer of dreams. It whispers you, this is enough, you're fine, don't push too hard. And slowly, without even noticing, you start accepting a life far below your potential. Not because you lack talent, but because you lowered your standards. But leveling up your life has nothing to do with perfection. It's about refusing to settle. It's about raising the bar for yourself, your habits, your discipline, your boundaries, and your future. Every extraordinary transformation begins with one decision. The decision to stop living on autopilot. Average people do what's easy. Successful people do what's necessary. Average people focus on comfort. Successful people focus on growth. Average people wait for motivation. Successful people build discipline. And the truth is simple. You do not get the life you want. You get the life you tolerate. When you tolerate excuses, your goals disappear. When you tolerate procrastination, opportunities slip away. When you tolerate average effort, you create an average life. But the moment you raise your standards, everything begins to shift. When you refuse to settle, you develop new habits. When you raise your expectations, you attract better opportunities. When you demand more from yourself, you unlock levels of strength you didn't even know existed. Leveling up is not a giant leap. It's a series of small changes repeated with consistency. It's waking up 30 minutes earlier. It's choosing discipline over distraction. It's reading instead of scrolling. It's practicing instead of wishing. It's saying no to anything that doesn't align with who you want to become. Every day, you are either upgrading your life or repeating the same day and calling it progress. You have dreams for a reason. You feel that hunger for a reason. You feel that restlessness for a reason. It's life telling you you were not built for average. Greatness is not reserved for special people. It's reserved for committed people. And the moment you stop settling, start believing and start acting, your entire life begins to transform. This is your sign to level up, to break the patterns that have kept you stuck, to rise above fear, laziness, doubt, and excuses, to become the strongest, boldest, highest version of yourself. Stop settling. Stop shrinking. Stop holding back. Your next level is waiting. Step into it fully, fearlessly, unapologetically. Because the only thing standing between you and the life you dream of is the decision to stop living average. Your life transforms the moment you raise your standards, not the moment you make a wish, write a goal, or dream about a better future. Real change begins when you decide that the way you've been living, thinking, working, and behaving is no longer acceptable. Your standards are the invisible rules you set for yourself. What you allow, what you tolerate, what you expect, and what you demand from your own life. And until those standards rise, nothing else truly rises. Most people wait for change to happen on its own, hoping that one day motivation will appear, opportunities will fall into place, or life will magically get better. But life does not improve by accident. It improves by intention, and intention begins with a higher standard, a new line in the sand where you say, this is the minimum I accept from myself now, not tomorrow, not someday, today. Your standards define your habits. If your standard is low, your habits will reflect that. You will settle for inconsistent effort weak discipline, and average performance. But when your standards rise, your habits begin to evolve. You stop allowing yourself to skip the routines that matter. You stop permitting laziness to control your decisions. You stop making excuses for the behaviors that hold you back. You start demanding a version of yourself that shows up with strength, discipline, and purpose. Rising your standards does not mean forcing perfection. It means refusing mediocrity. It means deciding that your health matters too much to ignore, that your dreams matter too much to delay, that your boundaries matter too much to break. It means holding yourself accountable in moments when you feel tired, distracted, or uninspired. Because when your standards rise, your commitment rises with them. Well, your relationships change when your standards change. You stop accepting disrespect, inconsistency, and negativity. You stop allowing people to drain your peace or undermine your growth. You begin choosing connections that uplift you, challenge you, and help you evolve. You surround yourself with energy that matches your ambition, not energy that keeps you stuck. Your mindset changes when your standards change. You stop thinking like a victim and start thinking like a creator. You begin believing that you are capable, worthy, and prepared to build the life you want. You shift from, I hope this works, to, I will make this work. You move from excuses to execution, from fear to faith, from uncertainty to direction. Your results change when your standards change. Why? Because results are simply the outcome of your behaviors, and behaviors are a reflection of standards. When you demand more from yourself, you naturally produce more. When you expect excellence, you begin acting in alignment with excellence. When you refuse to settle, the world starts responding to your determination. Changing your standards is not easy. It requires honesty, courage, and responsibility. It demands that you stop blaming circumstances and start taking ownership. It requires you to confront your old patterns and replace them with stronger, healthier ones. But once you do, everything in your life begins to shift. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach suddenly become possible. Goals that once felt overwhelming start becoming achievable. And the version of yourself you once only imagined begins to come alive. Your life is a reflection of what you allow. If you allow small effort, you get small results. If you allow distractions, you lose focus. If you allow fear, you miss growth. But when you raise your standards, truly raise them, the world around you adjusts. Not because life changes, but because you change. And when you change, everything changes. Your next level begins with one decision: raise your standards, and watch your entire life rise with them. Comfort feels safe, easy, and familiar, but it is also one of the biggest barriers to becoming the person you are capable of being. Comfort gives you temporary peace, but it quietly steals your long-term potential. It whispers you, relax, stay where you are. There's no need to push yourself. And while those words feel soothing in the moment, they are the very chains that hold you back from greatness. The truth is simple and powerful. Nothing extraordinary is created inside your comfort zone. Every breakthrough, every achievement, every transformation, personal or professional, happens the moment you step into discomfort and challenge yourself beyond your limits. Comfort convinces you that the pain of effort is worse than the pain of regret. But those who achieve greatness understand that discomfort is not the enemy, it is the path. Growth has never come from staying still. Muscles grow by resistance. Skills grow by repetition. Mindsets grow by challenge. Success grows by commitment. Everything that evolves must first be stretched, pressured, and challenged. Greatness requires you to do the things that most people avoid: waking up early, saying no to distractions, practicing when no one is watching, failing and trying again, choosing discipline over ease, choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure. None of that is comfortable, yet every bit of it is necessary. The people who rise in life are not the people who had the easiest path. They are the people who embrace discomfort with determination. The comfort zone is attractive because it removes risk. It keeps you from embarrassment, failure, uncertainty, and judgment. But it also keeps you away from growth, opportunity, progress, and success. When you hide from discomfort, you hide from your own potential. When you choose comfort, you are choosing to stay smaller than what you are capable of becoming. And that shrinking becomes a habit, one that steals years of your life without you even noticing. Growth, on the other hand, begins exactly at the point where comfort ends. It begins when you say, I'm going to push myself today, even if it scares me. It begins when you choose to take the harder path, the uncertain path, the unfamiliar path. It begins the moment you challenge your mind, your habits, your excuses, and the limitations you once believed were unbreakable. Stepping out of your comfort zone does not mean doing something extreme. It means doing something just a bit harder than yesterday. It means pushing one small boundary at a time. When you do this consistently, your comfort zone expands, and so does your confidence. What once felt impossible starts to feel achievable. What once required courage becomes part of who you are. This gradual, steady expansion is where real transformation happens. Comfort keeps you trapped in who you are. Discomfort helps you become who you are meant to be. Every challenge you face is shaping you into a stronger, more capable version of yourself. Every moment of discomfort is sharpening your character, strengthening your discipline, and preparing you for bigger opportunities. The more you avoid discomfort, the less prepared you are for the life you want. But the more you embrace it, the more unstoppable you become. Greatness is not found in doing what feels good. It is found in doing what feels necessary. It is found in that early morning when you didn't want to get up but did. It is found in those days you wanted to quit but chose to continue. It is found in the moments you pushed past fear, past doubt, past hesitation. Those moments build champions. Those moments build leaders. Those moments build the highest version of you. If you want to grow, you must be willing to be uncomfortable. You must be willing to push beyond your limits. You must be willing to do the things that others avoid. Because every time you step into discomfort, you step closer to greatness. Remember this: comfort is the enemy, challenge is the menendus corter, is the doorway to your next level. Greatness begins the moment you step through that door. Transformation is not created through giant leaps, overnight success, or sudden bursts of motivation. Real, lasting transformation is built slowly, quietly, and consistently through small upgrades done every single day. At first, these small changes may seem insignificant or even invisible. But over time, they compound, multiply, and reshape your entire identity. One small improvement repeated daily becomes a powerful force that rewrites your habits, your mindset, your actions, and ultimately your future. Most people underestimate the value of small upgrades because they crave instant results. They want dramatic change without gradual progress, and when results don't show immediately, they quit. But success doesn't reward intensity, it rewards consistency. A 1% improvement each day may feel tiny, but over weeks and years, that 1% becomes a completely new version of you. Not because you made one big change, but because you committed to hundreds of small ones. Think about it: reading just a few pages every day can turn you into a person of knowledge. Focusing on your health for even 15 minutes daily slowly builds strength and discipline. After a few weeks, your energy rises. After a few months, your confidence grows. After a year, you barely recognize yourself. These changes didn't come from one massive action. They grew from tiny, steady actions that made you better each day. Small upgrades compound. That's their magic. 1 day of effort means nothing. 10 days of effort feels small, but 100 days of effort, a year of effort, that's where the transformation becomes obvious. That's when your daily upgrades become visible on the outside, because they have already transformed you on the inside. Every small upgrade also reshapes your identity. When you choose a healthier meal instead of junk food, you are not just eating differently, you are becoming a healthier person. When you choose discipline over distraction, you aren't just finishing a task, you are becoming a disciplined person. When you choose to learn instead of wasting time, you aren't just gaining knowledge, you are becoming a smarter, more capable version of yourself. Identity is built through repeated actions. You become the sum of your daily decisions. Every time you choose a small upgrade, you cast a vote for the person you want to be. The more votes you cast, the more your identity shifts. Eventually, the old version of you fades, and a stronger, wiser, more confident version rises. Small upgrades are powerful because they are achievable. You don't need perfect conditions or massive time blocks. You don't need unlimited motivation or extreme discipline. You just need the willingness to improve a little bit today. And then again tomorrow, and again the next day. This consistency creates momentum, and momentum turns into transformation. Small upgrades also protect you from burnout. When you try to change too much at once, you overwhelm yourself. You start strong but fade quickly. But when you focus on small, manageable changes, you build habits that last. These habits become automatic, effortless, and deeply rooted. They stay with you even when your motivation disappears. Your future is shaped not by what you occasionally do, but by what you consistently do. Those small upgrades, those tiny choices you make each day, are building the life you will live tomorrow. The version of you that you dream of becoming is already within reach. You just have to show up every day and move a little closer. Every step forward, no matter how small, matters. Every upgrade to your habits, thoughts, routines, and mindset brings you closer to your best self. And one day, without even realizing it, you will look back and see that these small upgrades have built a version of you that is stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you ever imagined. Remember this, small daily improvements are the blueprint of transformation. When you commit to upgrading yourself every day, even just by 1%, you unlock the power to create a completely new version of you. Goals are powerful, inspiring, and necessary, but they are not what determines your success. Goals give you direction, but discipline gives you transformation. You can dream of success, plan for success, talk about success, and visualize success. But none of it becomes real until your daily actions align with it. The truth is simple and undeniable. You don't achieve what you want, you achieve what you consistently work for. Your discipline, not your dreams, decides your destiny. Most people overestimate the power of goals and underestimate the power of habits. Setting a goal takes seconds, but building discipline takes courage, commitment, and repetition. Anyone can say, I want to get fit, I want to become successful, or I want to be financially free. But only a disciplined person wakes up early, shows up daily, resists distractions, and keeps going even when motivation fades. Motivation is emotional. Goals are theoretical. But discipline is practical and powerful. Discipline is doing what is necessary even when you don't feel like it. It is showing up when your mind wants to quit. It is making choices that support your future instead of indulging in what feels good right now. Motivation may get you started, but discipline is what keeps you going long after your motivation dies. Your goals represent your potential, but your discipline represents your reality. You can set the highest, biggest, most ambitious goals in the world, but if your discipline is low, your results will match your discipline, not your dreams. Goals don't lift you up, habits lift you up. Goals don't turn you into your best self, discipline shapes you into that person. Greatness comes from consistency, not intensity. One strong day means nothing to you. One powerful week means little, but months and years of discipline, that builds a completely unstoppable human being. Your discipline determines how you spend your mornings, how you respond to challenges, how you manage your time, and how you treat your commitments. It determines the quality of your habits, what you eat, what you learn, how you think, and what you focus on. Every disciplined choice adds strength to your character and sharpness to your mindset. When discipline becomes your foundation, you become unstoppable. You stop relying on inspiration to take action. You no longer wait for the perfect moment. You no longer depend on energy, emotions, or external validation. You begin acting from commitment instead of mood. And that shift changes everything. Discipline also brings clarity. When your actions align with your goals, distractions lose power over you, the noise fades, the temptations weaken, the excuses disappear. You become a person who follows through, who keeps promises, who multiplies effort, and who rises above old patterns. Success becomes predictable when discipline becomes permanent. Your discipline is also a reflection of your standards. If you accept weak effort, you'll get weak results. If you allow excuses, you'll build a life full of regrets. But if you demand consistency, excellence, and commitment from yourself, your life will begin to rise to match those demands. Discipline is not a punishment. It is a gift you give yourself. It is the tool that builds your dream, the shield that protects your purpose, and the engine that pushes you forward when everything else stops. It is the silent force behind every great athlete, every successful entrepreneur, every strong leader, and every person who has achieved something extraordinary. Remember this, your goals show you where you want to go. Your discipline decides whether you get there. If you want to change your life, you stop focusing only on what you want. Start focusing on what you are willing to do every single day to earn it. Because your life will never rise higher than your discipline. And the moment your discipline rises, your entire life rises with it. Every day, life presents you with two paths, the path of comfort or the path of growth, the path of average or the path of excellence. The truth many people avoid is simple yet powerful. Average is not an accident, it is a choice. It is the result of choosing comfort over challenge, excuses over effort, and fear over progress. At the same time, leveling up is also a choice, one that requires courage, discipline, and the willingness to step beyond what feels easy or familiar. Your life becomes a reflection of the choices you make repeatedly, and those choices decide whether you remain stagnant or rise to your highest potential. Average doesn't happen overnight. It shows up gradually. It begins with small compromises, skipped responsibilities, lowered standards, and repeated procrastination. It grows every time you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or this is good enough, or why bother trying? Average becomes a lifestyle the moment you stop challenging yourself, the moment you allow your comfort zone to become your prison. Many people live their entire lives this way, not because they lack potential, but because they choose not to use it. On the other hand, leveling up is never accidental. It requires intention, effort, and consistent action. It demands waking up every day with the mindset that you are capable of more, deserving of more, and willing to work for more. Leveling up is a commitment to growth even when it's uncomfortable, a commitment to discipline even when it's difficult, and a commitment to becoming the best version of yourself even when the process feels overwhelming. It is a conscious decision to stop settling and start striving. Choosing to stay average means choosing predictability, safety, and minimal risk. But it also means choosing minimal reward, minimal progress, and minimal fulfillment. Choosing to level up means choosing challenges, uncertainties, and hard work. But it also means choosing transformation, new opportunities, and a life that feels meaningful and powerful. Every single day, your choices rewrite your destiny. You do not become extraordinary by accident, you become extraordinary by choice. People often convince themselves that greatness is reserved for the lucky, the gifted, or the privileged. But the truth is much simpler. Greatness is reserved for the committed. Your future will not be shaped by your dreams alone, but by the decisions you make today, tomorrow, and every day after. Every small decision counts. How you spend your time, what you focus on, how you respond to setbacks, and how you push yourself when no one is watching. These decisions build your character, your habits, and ultimately your life. When you choose to level up, you choose to hold yourself to higher standards. You stop tolerating negativity, laziness, and excuses. You surround yourself with people who inspire growth instead of draining it. You replace self-doubt with self-belief, distractions with focus, and fear with action. Slowly, consistently, and powerfully, your life begins to rise. You start seeing results you once thought were impossible because now your effort matches your ambition. Leveling up is not about being perfect. It is about being better than you were yesterday. It is about refusing to settle for mediocrity and refusing to let your fears dictate your life. It is about choosing progress over excuses, learning over complaining, and resilience over surrender. It is about stepping into your potential and owning your power. In the end, the life you live is shaped by the choices you make. You can choose to remain average, to stay comfortable, to avoid challenges, and to stay exactly where you are. Or you can choose to level up, to embrace growth, to push past limitations, and to become the strongest, most powerful version of yourself. The question is simple, which path will you choose? Your journey toward leveling up your life comes down to a truth that is both empowering and challenging. Your choices shape your reality. Every mindset you adopt, every standard you raise, every habit you build, and every challenge you confront becomes a brick in the foundation of the life you're creating. You've learned that comfort may feel safe, but it quietly steals your potential. You've seen that discipline, not motivation, is what elevates your life. You've understood that small improvements done consistently can transform your identity. And you've realized that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You rise to the level of your standards, your habits, and your commitment. Now everything leads to one powerful conclusion. Average is a choice. Excellence is also a choice. Growth is a choice. And the future you desire, the higher version of yourself you imagine, will only come alive when you choose to stop settling for less than you are capable of becoming. No one is coming to save you. No perfect moment is on its way. No magical burst of motivation is going to appear. The only thing that will change your life is your decisions, your discipline, and your determination to demand more from yourself. Today is the moment to choose. Choose the path that stretches you. Choose the habits that elevate you. Choose the standards that honor your potential. Choose the discipline that builds your greatness. Because when you choose to level up, you don't just change your life, you rewrite your destiny. So choose wisely and choose boldly. Your next level is waiting.